So I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it and run it out. All right, here we go. 56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Jones goes to the end zone. Oh, what a catch. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama.
Holy cow.
You don't even know what to say sometimes. Georgia with a blitz. Trask going to the end zone. Pitts. Touchdown.
My goodness.
Joe Burrow he's so calm, so confident, knows where he wants to go with the ball the majority of the time.
22-year-old transfer from Ohio State eluded the rush. Lofts it deep for a touchdown. Jamar Chase.
Dobbs heaves it. They're bunched up in the end zone. It's tipped up. It's caught. It is caught. Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings.
Hello guys, and welcome into the NFL edition of the Southern Sports Bros podcast. Tonight we're going to cover Week 1 games, top games of the week. Two teams that we are excited to see from the AFC and NFC. And then at the end we're going to give a little early Super Bowl prediction, just for the heck of it. But off the top, about an hour ago, we have two running backs in the NFL that are making moves. One is the New Orleans Saints are releasing Latavius Murray after he refused to take pay cut. And the Saints owe like $2 million in cap space. And the release of him will free up $3.17 million. Give him a little breathing room in case they need to sign some more people. Get your opinion on that, Logan?
Losing Latavius Murray is gonna hurt, but he's clearly not a team player. Sounds like a poison, so won't hurt too bad. The big one coming out is the replacement for Justice Hill from the Ravens. Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, about at 6:37 p.m. In need of depth at running back, Baltimore Ravens are rolling the dice since signing Le'Veon Bell. It says it's to the practice squad, so I don't know how much you can look into that, but they definitely can need him.
Give me something to look out for, too, because they got the past week or so, they've been working out both Le'Veon Bell and Devonta Freeman, who also just got cut from the Saints. So,
yeah.
See how that turns out.
Just two stories that we had pop up earlier while we were taking some notes and figured we'd go over them, but I think Logan's going to take us into the games of the week, and we're going to look over some of them and go from there.
All right, so the big game of the week that I'm looking forward to, it's the first game of the season, actually, is the Buccaneers-Cowboys. See how Tom Brady comes back. They're returning 22 starters from the Super Bowl team last year. So we'll see how they do their repeat season. For any of the Tom Brady haters out there, Tom Brady is on track to set another record. If the Cowboys manage to sack Tom Brady 4 times in the game Thursday, he will break the record for the most times sacked as a quarterback. So that's something for you guys to cheer for him about if you are Brady haters. But
yeah, I think the biggest thing, I don't think it'll be a game, really. I think the Bucs will win pretty good. I mean, I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think they'll win pretty good, and the Cowboys will score in garbage time. But I don't trust Dak. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and I think it's starting to come out that the Cowboys don't trust him either. And I just don't see him playing good week 1. I mean, they're probably the most, not the most. The Bucks are the most, and I just seen a minute ago that they placed Godwin on injury report, so he'll be out. But the Cowboys have a lot of offensive weapons, and they're stacked in offense. And Jerry Jones focused a lot on defense in the draft, so they should be improved in defense. So it may be a good game. I just don't think it will be.
I still don't see no matter the defense, it's Cowboys. Cowboys are the Cowboys. I think the Bucks will run away with it pretty early and just keep the lead.
I have my scores 24-17 Bucks, but I think it'll be like 21-7, and then the Cowboys will try to come back, but just not have enough time.
Yeah, I went more in the high-scoring approach. I got Tampa Bay 31-20. Anyways, on to the next game. It's a potential playoff game. Steelers versus Bills. The way it's looking, it's probably the biggest game of the AFC this week. I just lost it in my notes.
I think the Browns and Chiefs could be equally as big.
Yeah.
Number 1 and number 2 seed in the AFC versus potential wild card.
If the Bills dominate the whole game, and if the Bills are the Bills they're expected to be this year, they should control the whole game. And it should be a breeze for them. But if they struggle against the Steelers, I feel like it'll just open the door for the Browns and the Chiefs to lead the AFC. I got the Bills ultimately in that game, though, 35-20.
I think it'll be a defensive game. I have it as low scoring 17-10 Bills. I think it'll be mostly defensive, sort of like the Georgia-Clemson game. Just defenses taking over and not much scoring. But I expect Najee Harris to win Rookie of the Year and take over that Steelers offense.
Yeah, that's the only reason I really gave it such a high score is I feel like Najee Harris is going to control the running game early, and it's going to push the Bills to have to score more. I mean, I think the Steelers, honestly, I think they'll take an early lead, and then the Bills will catch up with them.
We can go over that in another episode, talking about awards and postseason awards. But Najee Harris will be my Rookie of the Year.
Yep. Browns and Chiefs might be a hot take. AFC Championship preview. Browns are seeking revenge after they fell to the Chiefs last year in the divisional round. And they get a chance to prove that they're not the old Browns. They're a whole new team. Everybody's saying OBJ's back. It's a new version of OBJ you haven't seen since he was with the Giants. And also, the Chiefs they're optimistic about having the Honey Badger back. He's on COVID protocol right now. So we'll see how that happens. He's supposed to come back Wednesday, but we'll see how that turns out. And even if he does come back Wednesday, he's got a week to get back to full football form. So we'll see. I got Browns in that game, honestly. 38-35.
Yeah, I didn't really know how to feel about this game because everybody has a stereotype of the Chiefs and with winning, but the Browns are good too. So I put down 21-10 Chiefs. I don't know. I don't think it'll end up that way. I just put that down. I could see it being something like 24-21 Chiefs. I think the Chiefs find a way to win. Just it's in their blood.
Like I said, it's losing Tyron and plus the OBJ being back. You don't really have anybody to watch.
The Browns are out to prove something this year too.
Yeah. Switching gears to the NFC. We got the Packers versus the Saints. It's a big matchup. You got Aaron Rodgers looking to repeat his MVP season from last year. And on the other side, you got Jameis Winston trying to change the minds of people like me that don't see him as a franchise quarterback. And he has weapons, but he also lost some weapons. Lost Michael Thomas. There's another wide receiver I don't have wrote down here. He's missing. So that opens the door for people like Marquez Callaway, who really shined out in the preseason. Then you got Alvin Kamara. You can't just not talk about him. He's trying to prove that he is the top running back. He's not. Everybody mentions him as top 5, but he's trying to prove that he is the top.
Yeah, I think the big thing is Jameis. Like, if he play good? Not just this game, but the whole season for the Saints. If he can come out and be a completely different player, I think the Saints will still be successful because they have enough talent around him.
Yeah.
Alvin's good either way. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to have a big argument against best running back in the league. He stepped back a little bit because he got hurt. But I expect him to have a big year this year. And we're not talking about the Panthers, but I just want to throw that in there. But it's hard. I think Aaron Rodgers still wins MVP again. We'll get to that later. I think he ultimately does, though. I have it being 31-21 Packers, sadly. I don't think that the Saints can stop the Packers offense.
Yeah, you got A-Rod and Devontae Adams rekindling their old flames. So
Randall Cobb, 2.
Yeah.
So
they got some new weapons. New, old weapons. So, yeah, I got the Packers in that game, though, 31-24. So, we're not far off. Then we got Rams versus Bears. Matthew Stafford's debut for the Rams. He's got a lot to prove. Got to prove that he's not washed. He's worthy of being the franchise quarterback. I feel like the Lions gave up on him. He didn't really have the backbone that he needed with the Lions. I've always liked Matt Stafford. Honestly, it's just I don't feel like he had the team. But who knows? The Rams might be his team.
Not only the team, but the organization.
Right.
I think adding Stafford takes the Rams not only to a playoff contender, but a Super Bowl contender.
Possibly, yeah.
He still has talent. I just think he has to go out and prove everybody wrong. And I'm excited to see the Bears, which they've already named Andy Dalton the starter. But I'm curious how long Nagy can keep Justin Fields off the field.
Do you think Justin Fields should start this game?
Not this game. No. I don't like rookies starting. I think they need get a little bit of time under their belt, but I think he will start him quicker than they expect. He'll ultimately end up playing quicker than everybody thinks, I think. Because I don't expect Andy Dalton to do good enough to stay on the field.
I sort of get like a Dak Prescott, Tony Romo feel to it, almost.
It's not we're going to start Justin Fields because we want to. We start him because we have to.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have to start him before Andy Dalton puts him in so big of a hole that he's fighting for his job.
Yeah. I can see that.
I have it 23-21 Rams.
I got 24-13 Rams.
I think that the defense for the Bears will get a score, make it tighter than people think, and then ultimately the Rams will kick a field goal to win. But I think the defense will be the Bears' defense will be the key to them staying in the game. But once they make the transition over to Fields, I think the offense will have better numbers than the defense.
Yeah, I think the I think it'll be 24-13, final drive. Bears got to go down, to score. And Andy Dalton just ain't got it. And it gets people on Justin Fields' side of starting.
Craps the bed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, we're going to pick two teams that you are excited to see. Two from the AFC, two from the NFC. Whether it's just out of curiosity of how they're going to do, whatever. Two teams. You can go first. Your two AFC teams.
All right, my two AFC teams. Already touched on them. I got the Browns because they're going to prove that they aren't the same Browns, and I think they'll go pretty deep in the playoffs. And I wouldn't sleep on them 100% because, like you said before, everybody's got this thing in their head that the Chiefs just can't lose. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to the Chiefs and the Browns pull it off. That is very, very likely. Now, my other team for the AFC is the Bills. I feel like it's finally their year. They got to step up. Because the past 2 years, it's been like, they look good, but they're not, they're not quite there yet. They can't compete in a Super Bowl. They're still young. It's like their third year, I guess you could say, in that talk of being a decent team. So I feel like if it's not this year, then they're gonna have to look in a different direction, try something different, try something new.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with mine. I got the Dolphins, just out of curiosity. I want to see if Tua can take the next step. I don't think he can. I think that I have a guy that I work with as a diehard Dolphins fan, and that's probably part of the reason why he says stuff like this. But he says Tua looks good in camp. He's going to change the program around, and I hope he can for Dolphins fans because they've lived in misery. But if he can stay healthy, that's the big key.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, and he's got the weapons.
When they drafted Jalen Waddle.
They drafted Jalen Waddle. They already had Devontae Parker. I've always loved Devontae Parker.
Will Fuller.
Yep. He's suspended right now, but he'll be back.
So I'm just curious to see how Tua does. I want to see if he can prove people wrong, take the next step, be a franchise quarterback. I don't know if people can trust him. I don't know if the Dolphins trust him, especially with the rumors that they were looking at Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Who knows if they even trust him. And my second team, which I think they will, whether it's, well, I don't think they'll win the division, but they'll be in the wild card, the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Herbert. I think he's a little hot take, a Aaron Rodgers 2.0, Aaron Rodgers Jr. eventually.
Big shoes to fill.
Yep. And they got a lot of offensive weapons. Good on defense, too. Excited to see how Josh Palmer does. All the people in the Chargers organization are excited about him, and he's potentially going to start at the third receiver spot. So I'm just excited to see where the Chargers go. And if you want to give your two NFC, we'll start with that.
Well, before I do that, I feel like the Chargers, too, they're like, the only reason I wouldn't put them up there, and I sort of feel like that was a hot take, is they're where the Bills were. I said the Bills, yeah, they're good, but they're not quite there. That's how I feel with the Chargers. They're good, but they're not quite there yet. I give them a couple years, then they'll be up there.
Yeah, they're like not done anything recently, but they've drafted people and drafted quarterbacks to start that franchise.
Yeah.
So like they're obviously wanting to head that way.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely going down the right path, but my two NFC teams are, I might get a lot of hate for this, but Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. I honestly am excited to see Tom Brady and see what they can do in the second year there. And they're returning all their starters from the last season. So I'm genuinely excited to see if they can do a repeat. And I would be all for it, even as a Saints fan. But the Packers, I'm excited to see the A-Rod, Cobb, Adams trio.
Yeah, I think, well, we'll get to that. My NFC teams is one, we touched on it earlier. I think the Rams can be a playoff team, can be a Super Bowl team if Stafford is not washed. And he has to prove that. I just want to see how he does there. I want to see if he can get back to his old ways before the organization just completely let him down. And then the other team is the Seahawks. I want to see Russell get back to old Russell. Basically the same thing as Aaron Rodgers. Like, I want to see Russell get back to his old ways, make a run, do old Russell Wilson things. Mm-hmm. And do you have anything you want to add to that?
Kind of goes to your. If I was to add on to that, it would be the Russell Wilson part of it. I could definitely see Russell Wilson going to do a sort of a breakout year, like be an MVP. Honestly, I could see him just going crazy,
like A-Rod did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of A-Rod, if you want to get into the Super Bowl, early Super Bowl predictions, I'll give mine. Out of the AFC, like you was talking earlier, I think the Bills finally take that step. I think they knock off the Chiefs. So the Bills represent the AFC. Aaron Rodgers will win another MVP. They'll represent the NFC. Packers will beat the Bills. Aaron Rodgers will win the Super Bowl. And he'll pull a Tom Brady and ride off into the sunset. And find another team that'll get him some weapons.
That's a good scenario. I could see that happening.
Bills, Packers.
Bills, Packers. Sheesh.
Or the dream scenario that everybody wanted a couple of years ago, and the Chiefs and the Packers. I could see that too.
And I don't know. There's so many. I got so many different scenarios in my head. I didn't even write one down whenever we were talking about it earlier. If I was just to pick one, that the most likely one I think would be Bucks Packers. Tom Brady does a repeat, takes down Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers leaves, and then finds another team, gets his weapons he wanted.
Rodgers is leaving either way. It would obviously be better to have him go out on top. But I think he's done in Green Bay after this year either way.
For sure, yeah. And he made it where his contract didn't include 2023 for a reason. So
I guess I should have added the AFC teams I'm excited to see. I want to see if the Titans can take the next step.
Yeah.
I'm not a Titans fan, but living around here, it's all you hear about as far as the NFL. And added Julio, added Bud Dupree on defense, and that's all everybody complains about is can they take the next step on defense? And they have to win a Super Bowl. Their defense has not been good enough, as plain as that.
Something that's not planned here. Which division in the NFL do you feel like is the most up for grabs? I got mine. I just want to hear yours.
NFC East.
NFC East?
Because they all suck.
Well, what about the teams that are decent and can do it? I didn't even think about the NFC. I'm a big AFC guy, so I was thinking AFC North. You got the Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers.
They don't have enough. The Bengals don't have enough yet. So that's not up for grabs for them. I mean, but those other three teams can take it. Ravens, right. Browns, Steelers.
Right.
Honestly, well, no, I ain't going to say that.
I mean, maybe who knows? Like, maybe Joe Burrow comes out and wins Comeback Player of the Year.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at it, it all depends on who comes out and takes the next step. Because if you look at talent, trades, big-time trades this year, it's probably the NFC West. Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a conversation that all four of them teams are playoff teams.
You could. Yeah, that's another team. I totally forgot about it. The Cardinals. That's one team to look out for, too.
They got loaded.
They are loaded.
But, I mean, up for grabs. If you just want to say up for grabs, it's the NFC East because they all suck.
It's true.
So
I don't know, though. Honestly, I think it in order. I think it goes Washington, Cowboys. I don't even know. Eagles, Giants. Giants, Eagles. That one's sort of either way.
I don't even know. Every year you don't even know how to. I mean, I think going into it,
I wouldn't sleep on that Washington defense.
You have to give the Cowboys a nod because of all the offensive production.
Yeah.
And you got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Dak, Zeke, and he's just loaded on offense. It's always been with them, can they produce on defense? And if they could, if there was any kind of evidence that they could before now, they would be the downright favorite. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing there on defense.
A good division to keep an eye on would be the NFC South.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tom Brady and the Bucks, they do a repeat. I don't know, man.
Are you baiting me to get my hot take?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, if you want to throw it out there, I'm kind of baiting you to do it so I can throw some of mine. But
me and Logan got into a heated exchange about the Carolina Panthers and how I think Sam Darnold will be a completely different player with the Panthers. Maybe a stupid take.
And see, that led up after I said Matt Stafford would be a different quarterback with the Rams, which is a totally different scenario because Matt Stafford's one guy, Sam Darnold's a different. Sam Darnold's just not it. I stand by that. That's the hill I die on.
I mean, how hard is it to sit and throw screen passes to McCaffrey?
It's not hard at all, but I mean, if that's all you're going to do, then who are you?
That's all they have to do.
If that's all you got.
No,
McCaffrey's definitely it.
It's just it's a hot take for a reason. It probably won't happen, but I could see it happening.
I also had wrote down here, I didn't say it. Stafford is a potential MVP candidate who leads the Rams to deep into the playoffs.
I could see that.
In his first year.
With quarterback competitions, what's your take on the 49ers?
I think the 49ers have to move on from Jimmy G and start the rookie. He deserves it. I mean, Jimmy G, what's he proved?
Nothing there.
Exactly. I mean, he was good. There was a reason why they signed him. And, I mean, everybody's seeing him go in, and then that Super Bowl team, everybody was all for Jimmy G, but now after he got hurt, he's just not the same guy.
All you had to say is there's a reason you drafted him, especially that high.
Exactly. I mean, they clearly don't trust that Garoppolo's going to stay healthy. So
if you are comfortable with Jimmy G, you trade that pick and you get a quarterback later. There's a reason they drafted him. So move on, start the new regime, and let him play without any kind of wonder, any doubt.
And as highly as I've talked about Matt Stafford going to the Rams and doing something, I sort of am going back on that with the trade that happened with Jared Goff going to the Lions, and I just don't see him doing anything. Especially with the Lions. It's the Lions. It's not really Goff's fault. It's the same reason why I didn't like Matt Stafford at the Lions. And I feel like the Lions are the best team for Trey Lance to play against with the upcoming games that they've got.
The Lions are just a quarterback killer, no matter who it is.
Right.
You go there, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Until you retire or get traded away.
Mm-hmm.
They have to pay Calvin Johnson for him to come around the program.
Yeah, they just need to rework.
They forced him to retire. Like Hall of Fame wide receiver. And they have to pay him to even get him to have anything to do with them. And it's just the Lions as a whole need help.
Yep. And I feel like, honestly, it's almost the path that the Cowboys are going down. And we've been all over the place, but I feel like that's the path the Cowboys are going down. And they're just like, they're sort of like the Bills. How I said they need to take that step this year. And if they don't, they need to look somewhere else. It's like the Cowboys, they always do just enough to make you think, that they can stay in it. And they can do it next year. They got next year.
I mean, you know, because you're my brother, but I was a Cowboys fan. And I like Zeke. I like Amari Cooper. I have an Amari Cooper jersey in my closet. But the Cowboys will never be anything until Jerry Jones dies.
It's true.
He will not let his son knows more about football than he will ever know. And he will not let him make the decisions. Ever. And I decided I was not torturing myself with that. And I would find a new team. So I came over and I joined you and started pulling for the Saints. Not as a bandwagon, but I did not want to torture myself. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if it was the bandwagon effect of it, we would both be Titans fans by now.
Yeah, because the past couple of years they've been the ones on top, and they're the home team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk about that. They say that the Titans have the people above my generation. They lack the most because of when they moved to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we pretty much covered the good games of the week and got a little bit of NFL content in there. So, I just wanted to hit on the NFL a little bit. And I don't know. You got anything else?
I'm done.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all watching. We know you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Go over and follow us on our Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. Social should be in the description. And we thank you guys for watching.
And if you want any Loco merch, search Loco59 on Redbubble. It's fire.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.
Go check him out on twitch.tv/Loco59.
You should.
All right. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Peace.